Percy Bysshe Shelley was born in Sussex in 1792. He was the eldest son of a wealthy Conservative Member of Parliament and heir to a considerable fortune. He rebelled early against his conventional background, and in 1811 he was expelled from Oxford University because of his radical pamphlet, The Necessity of Atheism, published in the same year, in 1811, avenging the existence of God. At the age of 19, he married the 16-year-old Harriet Westbrook, and they had 2 children and moved from place to place, including Ireland, where Shelley made revolutionary propaganda against Catholicism and English rule. In that period, the idealistic drive of the French Revolution had already been exhausted, followed by a nationalistic wave both in France and in other European countries. Shelley therefore lived in a time of conservatism, which was hostile not only to any radical ideas, but even to political moderation. He rebelled against existing religions, laws and customs. He became a Republican, a vegetarian, and an advocate of free love. His contempt for traditional forms of religion was matched by an interest in the occult science and in scientific experiments. He expressed his philosophy of life in the poem Queen Mab. While Shelley and his wife came back to England, they realized their marriage was not working and separated. Shelley eloped with Mary Godwin, the daughter of the radical philosopher William Godwin. They went to Switzerland, where they met Byron. In 1816, Mary brought her novel Frankenstein, and the poet produced an epic revolutionary poem, The Revolt of Islam, in which he expressed his conviction that only love could deliver man from any social claims. In 1818, the Shelleys went to live in Italy in voluntary exile, during which much of Percy's best work was composed. Ode to the West Wind, written in 1819, To a Skylark, written in 1820, The Cenci, 1819, a verse tragedy, and also Prometheus Unbound, a lyrical drama dealing with the theme of intellectual rebellion, the desire for spiritual liberty, and the belief that Harry would be overcome by the power of love. Adonai, an elegy written in honor of John Keats, a defense of poetry, an unfinished essay concerning the importance of poetry. In 1822, Shelley's instant life was cut short by an accident. While sailing near Livorno, he was drowned during a storm. Shelley's grave is in the Protestant cemetery in Rome. Shelley's essay, A Defense of Poetry, is where his belief in nature and a function of poetry is expressed most fully. It presents a lively defense of poetry as expression of imagination, which should be understood as a revolutionary creativity, capable of changing the reality of an increasingly material world. Shelley's nature, unlike Wordsworth's nature, is not the real world, but a beautiful veil hiding the eternal truth of the divine spirit. Nature provides him with images such as the wind and the clouds, and symbols for the creation of his cosmic schemes. Nature also represents a shelter from the disappointment and injustice of the ordinary world, the expression of his dream, and of his hopes for a better future. The poet's task and style. The poet for Shelley is both a prophet and a titan challenging the cosmos. His task is to help mankind to reach an ideal world where freedom, love, and beauty replace tyranny. Shelley's verse covers a wide range of metric and stanzaic forms. He was a master of traditional verse form, such as the couplet, blank verse, and Dante's terza rima. He moved from the political ballad to the classical elegy, but is the best remembered for his short lyric poetry. their restless spirit and refusal of social convention and political oppression, including any form of tyranny, as well as his belief in a better future, can be seen in almost all his works. He firmly believed in the principles of freedom and love, which he regarded as remedies for the faults and evils of society. Through love, he believed man could overcome any political, moral and social conventions. He was less disciplined and methodical than Wordsworth or Coleridge. Nevertheless, he remained support of great convention and powerful musicality, and the author of some of the finest lyric poetry in English literature. Ode to the West Wind is a lyric composition with an elevated tone, full of archaism, invocations, and personification. This ode, published by Prometheus Unbound, identifies Shelley with his heroic Titan. By stealing fire from heaven, Prometheus enabled humanity to found civilization. In punishment, Zeus changed Prometheus to a mountain and gave him unending torment, as an eagle fed from his constantly restored liver. Like Prometheus, Shelley hopes that his fire, a liberal philosophy, will enlighten humanity and liberate it from intellectual and moral imprisonment. He writes about his hopes for the future.